Hey guys, it's Neil, and today we're going to take a look at Symphonic Destruction, and we're going to do a little tips and tricks video where I take one preset and write a cue. And to make things a little more interesting, I'm taking an init preset, like a blank one, and I'm going to build my own preset to use to score this. And we're going to take a look at how to do that. So why don't we get into it? Here we go. We've got our Symphonic Destruction one preset, and I'm using a couple of damage presets just for rhythm. All right, that's the cue. It's kind of like a bunch of badasses walk into a room and some shit's going to go down, and that was what I was thinking. So you may or may not know Symphonic has some cool guitar stuff in it. So I was like, hey, let's use that. That's some fun stuff. So check it out. I'm on channel 1. So that's a loop. All right, so I talked about explaining how we do this. So if you go to the factory presets, we've got all these folders that have snapshots in them, all stars, damage, effects and textures, hybrid, loop combos, and then there's this Symphonic Destruction init, which is like an initialization or like zeroing all of the parameters. Now, instead of spending all of our time doing this, I'm gonna load in my preset, which is in user. Okay, cool. So if you click on browse, it's going to take you to channel 1, which is right here with the like sort of aqua line over it. And then there's a category of like traditional, hybrid, damage, soundscapes, damage guitars. That's what I used. And then this is like a triplet feel. So I went to clean triplet. And then there's effects triplet, different batch of stuff. So there's different riffs. So here's like, here's one. There's another one. All these loops. So I used 4. And it's, multi-sampled up the keyboard. We've loaded that in. We're going to close this window, and you can hear there's some effects on it. So why don't we check that out? So under space, again, I'm on the main page, and you have all these parameters. Channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. I'm on channel 1. I've got some delay. Just doing quarter notes with some, feedback and width. And that's sort of the sound. The other thing that I did to this was I EQ'd it. I took some of the high end out and pushed a little of the low end. And then in the master effects, which you'll see right here, click, I have punish up almost halfway. It just makes it louder and better, in my opinion. And if we go over here, so those are down here in the preset. Since it's all playing out of 1, it's these lower notes. All right, cool. So the next one, you can see it says Anna Blade, right? So if I click on it, it takes me to channel 2, and I'm in source, right? Source is where you choose the source for that channel. So the other way to do it, instead of clicking on browse, is just to go directly to source. So I'm in hybrid, swells and crescendos, and then I chose Anna Blade. Let's solo it. That's kind of a cool, like, synthy thing. Other stuff in there. So we'll go back to Anna Blade and take a look at that preset. So we can close this. We're on channel 2 now, right? So EQ, did we do anything to channel 2? We did. So looks like I took a decent amount of bottom out and pushed the mid-range. And then with the EQ in, it's just a little clearer in the mix, sort of taking that low end out against the guitars, which are really heavy with a lot of low end, and pushing some mid-range. And one of the other things to talk about, which is really important, is like key ranges. So if we go over to options, right, it gives us a whole bunch of info about channels 1, 2, and 3, how much your pitch bend is. You can limit the different channels. I didn't do any of that in this case. But down here is what's interesting, what I want to talk about. Channel 1, which is blue, allows you to pull these handles and basically designate the key range on your controller or the MIDI keyboard. And you can see that down here if we select, right? So the guitars are down in this octave from like B0 to B1. And then we were just talking about channel 2 here, Anablade, right? So I've got that starting at C2. And again, you can grab the handles. You can use the range here, and you can also feather it in so it's softer. It's basically like a fade. I didn't use that for this particular snapshot, but I've got that going way up. We're up at F5. And then there's the third sound in this preset. Get out of here, go back to main, and take a listen to what that is. So it sounds like a loop or a motif or something like that. So let's take a look. So now it says we're on channel 3, motifs. Yep. Triplet, which we know we're already doing a triplet vibe. I chose the low out of low, mid, high. And then there's those in reverse, and those are pretty cool too. So I chose this afterburner loop. There are plenty of others in here, but this is what I did. So that's sort of what's going on with that, sort of laying down some rhythm and a pretty heavy vibe to it. So if we close it and look at channel 3, let's see with the EQ on this. Again, on this one, I carved the low end out because I really wanted the guitars to have that really meaty punch down there, and took a little of the top end off. Filter, no filter on that, and space. Again, channel 3, we've got some reverb, and we've got some delay. Quarter note repeat. Versus. Just makes it more ambient and cool. And there's things like gate effects. I didn't use them, but make it really rhythmic. The loop is sort of right up in here from, looks like about B3 to about B4. So there's some overlap between the second part in channel 2 and channel 3. So now if we look over here in Cubase, where I'm playing the MIDI back, you'll see it start to trigger different channels. One way to notice that is there are little like VU meters for each channel. So if you watch that while these are playing, you'll see what's coming from where. So that's the vibe. Let me shut the drums off just so you can hear the preset. All right, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is using the Symphonic Destruction designer preset. We just made our own preset, did a quick cue, and went through how to assign the sounds, how to do effects on individual sounds, how to decide where they are on the keyboard and how they're laid out and mapped, And hopefully you guys got a sense of how much you can really customize the sounds in Symphonic Destruction. There are so many different sources. We didn't really even touch all that much on what you can do in the engine. That's sort of just the tip of the iceberg. But anyway, I want to say thanks again for watching. And as always, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll get all the latest and greatest information coming out of Heavyocity. So again, guys, take care and thanks for watching. See ya. I need more coffee. And today we're going to take a look. No, we're not. Truly unique to you. Is this over yet? With is the word I was looking for. Yeah. I'm fucking losing my mind with these words that I can't speak. Oh my God. How about some more coffee? Excitement level 10. Fucking yeah, dude. Let's do this. We're 6 minutes into trying to get the intro right. And today we're going to take a look. No, we're not. No, we're not going to do that. Oh my God. Okay. I need a teleprompter. Whatever. Really? Can I do it? Can he do it? Really? I can't say words now. That's got to work.